Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Ain't nobody bigger than a program. See you bigger than a program. Climax fast to a slow jam. Toxic love, chemical romance. Somebody I love finally loves me back. Before I break out, I have a heart attack. We separated, but we made it back. He gon' stay attached till we fade to black. Highs and lows. Highs and lows. Till you never let me go.
Say is, but she has black children. Stop it. But she's Middle Eastern. Stop it. But she's helping black people get out of jail. Stop. Drop. Shut them down. Open up. Stop it. But she's channeling Elizabeth Taylor. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. She wanted to look like Diane, Beyonce, Diana Ross, Carol. That's what she wanted to look like. An entire team of people let it happen because they don't care. She don't care. She got a black daughter and she don't care. Okay? She got black nieces and she don't care. She don't care. She has a black mother-in-law looking down from heaven. Rest in peace to Donda. And she don't care. She don't care. She don't care because so many of y'all don't care. Y'all be praising this shit. Not y'all who are like, yes, Amanda, I'm with this. No, I mean them, you in the back who be like, oh my God, she's so, That's why she don't care. That's why. Y'all be praising this shit and you're praising it because y'all don't care. Some of y'all don't care. Some of y'all don't care about yourself. For some reason, like the love of you being a black woman and loving what you are as a black woman, like that didn't happen. And it's unfair to you because you should care that somebody is trying to take your rhythm but not know your blues. You should care. Some of y'all don't even care about black women unless they're your family member. Or maybe you don't care about black women altogether. Some of y'all don't care about ethics. Right? But this is basic. This is basic. This family is notorious for appropriating black culture. They do not have any grievance about it. They don't give reverence. They don't pay homage. No. They mimic. They take. They commodify. This is a constant thing that they do. For real. And there will be people who will be like, oh my gosh, there's bigger topics to talk about, Amanda. There's more important things to say. First of all, I'm a black woman and I'm going to determine when a topic about black women is valid and important enough for me to talk about. And as a black woman, to see this person, on this cover in blackface. And yes, you can call it tan or bronzer or whatever, but again, she don't care. She don't care.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
I'm Skeptic.
I'm Enzo. Oh, sorry.
I'm that opinionated girl.
And we have a special guest this evening, that opinionated girl. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I'm so excited to have you. Before we get into the topics, let everybody know where they can find you at tonight.
TikTok under the same username, that opinionated girl, is where I usually post, and then I have an Instagram with the same username.
Okay. And at the end, we're gonna play a clip from her so we can have everybody follow you as we get the chat and the room jumping. So tonight I know we have a nice diverse cast tonight, but we are talking about Kanye's allegations against the Kardashians for culture appropriation. This week, Kanye West tweeted out some pretty controversial things. He had another DEF CON week, I guess we can say. He has an album that's come out. I'm curious how it's going to do because that's, I think, the whole point of this. But he tweeted out the following: it's difficult when you know your children are being indoctrinated and used. People know why I went crazy. Now I'm in a place where I have to disassociate or go to jail. And I bet not one Kamala supporting pro black celebrity say anything to me or on me or on my kids' behalf. If a group of prominent black stars stood up, I could save my kids from all this. Y'all watch these white and white passing women run, use, indoctrinate, and traffic these black kids and tell me this is what I signed up for. So the reason why he tweeted that, just to give backstory, is Khloe Kardashian tweeted out a picture of his daughter North in the video with FKA Twigs. You know, she had that video that came out this week. So it does appear that these kids are that little girl's being pimped out. Just a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, how y'all feel about that. But Gray, I'll let you go first. As the black man on the line and someone that has biracial children, do you agree with Kanye or is he taking it way too far?
Well, I was on the man cave last night, so the red pill guys are all mad at me. But Kanye is just blaming Kamala supporters, and they don't have anything to do with this. This is between you and Kim Kardashian and the court system. So I mean, like, you're rich, go get you a lawyer. If you put in the documents, hey, I don't want my kids posted, then I feel like they should honor that. I feel like Kanye taking this publicly just puts people in that business, and he picked Kim K, so he knew what he was getting himself into.
Skeptic, he made a song. I don't know if you heard it. His daughter's on it actually. So is this like a little hypocritical in your opinion? What's your thoughts? And is there relevance to anything that he said?
I mean, I kind of agree with what Gray was saying. I think that you should go to the courts instead of going to the public. But I will say that in part, Kanye created this monster. Like, Kanye was the one that made cool, like Kim cool. He introduced her to the culture and brought her in. Kanye was the one that was super big MAGA and then brought in, and now you see Kim Kardashian making, the whole Tesla thing with Tesla robots in the cars. So I feel like I kind of understand what Amanda Seals was saying. Like, I love Amanda for being so outspoken and she doesn't care. I think that, like I've said the last time, when you combine two cultures, you should have respect for both cultures. Like, my culture expects certain things of somebody who wants to come in and wants to be, taken in by the culture. And I feel the same way goes for the black culture. Like, you should know about the history. You should, pay respect. And I don't think Kim Kardashian has done that, especially with what's going on in society now. Like, you see how people are so upset because Elon Musk is coming in with Doge and cutting and firing people, and you sit there and mock the American people who are upset by making a campaign with Tesla trucks and robots. Like, you really think you're one of those people that, like Amanda was saying, like, you don't care. She doesn't care. So I've lost respect for her. As far as like what Kanye, I think he goes about it the wrong way. I think he has, you know, depending on how you're looking at it, the mother, father's point. Like, my daughter loves TikTok, which is how I even got introduced to TikTok, and she's 5. We had to come to an understanding. Like, she's not allowed to use TikTok without parental control. She's not allowed to, like, we can all do TikToks together as a family, but both mom and dad have to be in agreement for it. So there's a fine line, I guess, in all of this. But yeah, that's what I see when it comes to them.
Mm-hmm. That opinionated girl, you got kids?
No.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, somebody on the right, what do you think about the Kardashians putting their kids out there? If you had kids, would you put your kid out there that much? What's your thought?
So I take his tweet a little bit differently because I remember, and this is where I started to have a huge problem with the Kardashian family, their ties to Balenciaga, who's done questionable things when it comes to children in the past with the whole BDSM thing with children in their ad campaign. And Kim stood by them. She's been associated with people who have done terrible things to children, and we all know how they started their fame. So I didn't necessarily take his tweet as concern over what they're doing with a certain hairstyle or because she put on too much fake tanner or something like that. I think that under the scenes, there probably is something a lot more cynical going on. Unfortunately, Kanye says so many insane things that it's kind of like the boy who cries wolf, where one tweet he's talking about being a proud Yahtzee, and then in the other one he's talking about something that's like serious and important. And unfortunately, it kind of dilutes the situation because I believe him that there could be something deeper going on with the type of family.
Enzo, another thing that came out with him and his kids is he was taking his daughter to go meet Andrew Tate. The Kim found out, Kim intercepted, and it made security go pick up the daughter. I know you don't have kids, but one day you will. What's your thoughts on that? Would you allow your daughter? Huh?
I got god kids that I raised.
You got god kids. So would you allow your god kids to be around Andrew Tate? What's your thoughts on all this?
So my whole perception on Andrew Tate has changed in the last week, actually, with the new stuff that came out about him. Like before, I was like, all right, well, everything was circumstantial, this, that, the third. That I saw that I'm like, that's it. This is the line that I draw in the sand. This dude, straight up, I'm believing everything everyone's saying about him now. So no, if my god kid was with me and the mother, or for example, like, because pretty much I like raised a kid, and the mother was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna bring the kid and go hang out with Andrew Tate or whatever." I'll be like, "No, you're not. Like that. No, dude's terrible." So I'm fine with Kanye saying that, but at the end of the day, it hurts because I used to love Kanye growing up. What's going on with him? He's going off the rocker and he's gone way too far with everything he's been doing. But that's the only thing I'll agree with him on.
And Nora, I want to respond to you about having biracial kids and what Kanye said. So, like, my ex-wife is biracial, but her mom is white. And even though we don't get along, I never brought race in between me and her mom's like issues. My girlfriend now is Puerto Rican and but her mom's Italian. I never used race as far as any disagreements that we had. So like I feel like Kanye's kind of just using that as a way to get support. Like at the end of the day, when it's like you're dealing with that person and you're like dealing with that person, like it's a family issue. It's not really like a cultural issue.
So let me ask you this as the leftist person on the line and as the black man on the line. You know, he's MAGA. He a lot of times, certain MAGA, not all, don't take offense to this, they overlook racial things. They say it doesn't exist. There's no racism. There's no this. How do you feel hearing that Kanye is such a proud Trump supporter and he calls himself a schnazi? How do you feel with him now bringing race into this?
Yeah, it's a low blow in the sense of that you try to like benefit off of racism and then you like align yourself with something that's been accused of racism. And I feel the same way about Candace Owens, but inverse, like Candace Owens was paid off of a hate crime and she got to sue somebody, and then you turn around, you're this major conservative. So I don't really understand Black MAGA. I know this is like a new thing where they feel more comfortable being accepted by the right because Trump's a little bit more accepting. So I feel like Trump is probably like the least racist Republican president. He's more celebrity like, so they feel more comfortable. So it's so new. I don't feel like, we can really do an analysis on it.
Well, I disagree about him being the least racist. I don't think that George Bush was racist. George Bush gave Condoleezza Rice, I think she was one of the first Black women in history that had an executive cabinet position. What was she, like the head of state? She was big.
What did Kanye West say doing Katrina?
Yeah, I mean,
George Bush don't care about Black people.
Yeah, exactly. If you're talking about Kanye West right now, so I mean, He was accused. I'm not assume. I don't know. I can't say, but he was accused.
But to
Okay.
agree with Nora on my stance, I kind of agree. When we're looking at the Trump administration, they're removing Black and Latino women from like websites, military websites, from veterans that have fought for a country, Japanese Americans that fought for a country. Like that seems pretty targeted.
But this is what Trump does, right? And I don't mean to talk too much. He'll
This is
do
a
that.
lot for you, Gray.
He'll do that. But then Trump will have the Congress where me, Enzo, and Nora was talking, and the other people were there too. But he has the young Black kid, I don't know if he's Black or Puerto Rican or what, stand up, and then everybody's clapping. So like Trump does performative things. Then Trump endorses Byron Donalds, Tim Scott with him everywhere. So I mean, like that's what makes it hard to kind of like pin it on Trump because Trump has a diverse type of group around him.
Opinionated girl. What do you think? Trump is the least racist Republican president, or do you think that's unfair to say that? It's like an unfair stereotype.
I think that it's an unfair stereotype that the majority of Republicans are racist. I think that at the end of the day, let me be careful here. I think that to say that Republicans as
It's
a
okay, girl.
whole,
We not on TikTok. You could let go a little bit more freedom. We just not on Rumble. We on YouTube.
perfect.
Mm.
So I think obviously, yes, racism unfortunately does exist in America. It exists in every single country. I think that the point that a lot of Republicans try to make is that it's overstated, at least in this day and age. Not to say that there haven't been issues or specific incidents, but it's not institutionalized in the way a lot of people like to claim. And I think that, for example, right, one of the points that was brought up was regarding DEI being removed from military websites. That's not racism. I think that making this idea that you have to lower the standard for people of a certain race or a certain gender in order for them to get into a place, I think that's more racist than anything else. So I think that it kind of misconstrues the Republicans' position that we think that racism doesn't exist. Of course it does. Of course it should 100% be wholeheartedly condemned, but it's not always the situation.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know that we
speaking.
can say it's
Mm.
DEI. But when you're a veteran and you risked your life for this country, you just so happen to be Black that now you're considered DEI. It just, to me, seems a little far fetched. But
I don't think that
Why did they remove the people? Do you know, opinionated girl?
for
What was
those
the reason?
for those
Yeah, that Trump.
specific people, I don't know exactly for those specific individuals, but what I do know is that with the military, they were being told basically by President Biden that they needed to have a huge push for DEI. They needed to get more certain races in. They needed more women in. They needed more LGBTQ plus. They needed all of these things, right? And that became their main concern. And I'm sorry, I don't care what color somebody serving in the military is. My main concern is, can this military fight? Can everybody live up to the same standards? Or are we constantly lowering the bar? Are we allowing people in who maybe wouldn't be able to get in otherwise? And I just don't think that's where the money needs to be going for our defense budget. So I think that's why the website was probably redesigned to say, look, we're not pushing for a certain color. We're not pushing for a certain woman or a certain gender, rather. If you can meet the criteria, if you meet the standards, you're more than welcome. In the military, we all bleed red. It doesn't matter what you are on the outside, but we're not going to be catering or pandering to a certain group either.
I just think that somebody who fought after World War II, that was the Japanese American. I don't think that I would consider them DEI. And I wanted to say something else. When it comes to the Republican Party and the Southern Strategy, which was like in the 81, we have Republican strategist Lee Gatewater. I would really, really push for everybody to go and Google this man. He said that we used to be able to say the N word and get away with racism in that way, but we have learned to use codes to change and talk about tax reductions and talk about changing the bus system in order to use the same rhetoric to push towards a certain group of people being benefited instead of another group of people, instead of saying racial slurs. So racism is a systemic thing that has been a part of American politics and government for since slavery. So to say that it hasn't, to me, just seems a little intellectual dishonest. But me personally, I don't think that Joe Biden was around whenever people were added to the veteran websites that had fought for our country. And I don't think that you are, as a Japanese woman, means that you are less qualified, or a Latin citizen, you're less qualified. If you're a veteran and you risked your life for this country, I feel like just to be in the position that you're at, you have to take the ASVAB. You have to qualify in that way. So I don't necessarily believe that DEI that has been pushed for the last 4 or 5 years has put people in the positions that they're in now and that they're not qualified. That's just my opinion.
So I want to give background and then we're going to move on, guys. The cemetery's website that directed users to web pages with information about the notable graves of dozens of Black, Hispanic, and female veterans and the reason why was because they are saying because of the whole DEI thing. So there is truths to what Opinionated Girl said, in the sense of they wanted to get away from that. They were highlighting these people. They were giving them a mention. Yeah. So
That
I'm torn
opinionated girl.
on.
Are you white?
I'm sorry?
Are you white?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But at the same time, they tried to remove the Tuskegee Airmen, right? Saying that they were
Yes,
DEI. Like, do we
they did
understand
do
that
that.
we're saying that people are DEI because they did the things they did and they happen to be people of color? Like, is that what we're not going to say? If you
No,
happen
that's
to be a
not.
woman, so the
No,
Tuskegee
that's
Airmen
not.
were
But
DEI?
That's not what
but
we're
skeptic.
saying. What we're
That's
saying
not
is
why they
they were.
removed it. They're saying that they removed giving them this like highlighting it, making it be the main thing. That's what was done. To be
They were
clear,
part of the
now
website. I don't know that they were the main thing of it, but they were
they gave
removed
them a special
because,
section.
right, because they had done something for our country and they were Japanese
No, not
Americans that
because they
fought.
had done something for our country, because of the specific race and gender that they were. It had nothing to do with just specifically being in the military and with DEI.
They removed Jackie
quotas.
Robinson from a historical military website. He didn't do something for our country.
I'm not saying that these people didn't do something for our country. I'm saying that they got an extra highlight, like the host was saying, because of their race, because of their gender. Of course, all military should be honored. It doesn't have anything to do with what color or what gender you are, but you shouldn't get a special privilege over others. You shouldn't be more recognized for something because of your skin color, because of your gender, because of anything like that. You shouldn't get promotions quicker because of anything like that. You shouldn't have the bar lowered for you.
So do we understand who DEI benefited the most in America? Do we know the
White
statistics
women
on
is
that?
who you're
White
gonna
women,
And as a
whites and
white
gays.
woman, I want DEI gone.
was-
I don't want to benefit from it. I don't need you to lower the bar.
Mhm.
But who did we
I'm
remove from
capable of
those
meeting the
websites?
qualifications myself.
Do we know who we removed from those websites? We didn't remove white women. We removed people of color and women.
Actually, it
minority
wasn't
women.
just people of color.
We removed
and they
women?
redid the entire qualifications, because it was shown that under DEI there were certain quotas for people getting promotions of both a certain race and a certain gender. It was removed. Trump removed the commandant of the Coast Guard, who was a white woman, because she kept pushing for DEI, right? So it wasn't just affecting one certain color.
He also removed a 4-star general and put in a person who was a new Fox News host as the Secretary of Defense. So yeah, I think DEI is a part of the Trump.
He was a little bit
administration
more
also.
than a Fox News host, so
But
I
he
think
wasn't
that
as
we're
qualified as a 4-star general.
Okay,
so,
guys.
yeah.
I think
All
if
right,
we're
guys.
going to
We gonna move
bring you
on. We
back
gonna
for
move on.
DEI special.
Yeah, for real. Like we're gonna bring you back. Like for real. Like this was good. Oh man. Um. All right, y'all. Woo, how I follow up with this? We're gonna skip the Kardashians and we're gonna move on to immigration now because we got a lot to say.